I have been requested to go over GDP calculations again. So this is just a short podcast on each of the calculations of gross domestic product, gross national product, net national product, so that we show with the circular flow that GDP at some point equals national income. The circular flow does work. Personal income, and then we get into disposable personal income mainly because we use that with Keynesian economics. So remember, GDP is consumption plus gross private domestic investment. So the gross amount of capital we've invested in the economy, plus government purchases, plus net exports. Exports minus imports is net exports. The reason So now we're going to go from GDP, show how GDP, if you add in and take out various components of the economy, does then equal gross national income product. So we take out all foreign stuff that's going on here in the U.S. and U.S. foreign production abroad. We add in. We then get to net national product, and we need to get here so we can take out depreciation, which of course, on our tax returns is taken out. So in order for us to have GDP and national income each equal each other, we need to do this. And that's what we're going to do. We want to get these equal to each other as in a circular flow diagram. Then we'll get to the other numbers, which we then use in other parts of economics when we start measuring the economy and setting public policy. And let's go ahead and do GNP. Well, GNP is just GDP plus net foreign factor income, right? So it's plus the net foreign factor income, which we go to with national income too, right? We take that out there. So it's just GDP, which was 417. Oh, I can't write 17. Plus net foreign factor income, which is 10. So GNP is going to be 427. Okay, and sometimes I don't ask you that, but just to realize what that does is take out production, U.S. production, adds in U.S. production abroad, takes out foreign production here within U.S. borders. Net domestic product. And net domestic product is GDP minus depreciation or consumption of fixed capital. Consumption of fixed capital is the same thing as depreciation, right? It's a consumption of fixed capital. Remember, notice there's a lot of terms that there's more than one word for it. So again, we're going to go from the 417, which we calculated, minus our 25, right? And if we do that math, we're going to go ahead and come to 392, right? So net domestic product is 392. Did I do that right? Yes. So we have now done net domestic product. The next Next we have national income, right? So I'm going to go ahead and change it. I'm going to start typing. So national income is equal to your net domestic product, which we are trying to get this equal to what shows on people's tax returns. And what we're going to do is we're going to have to add in all U.S. resources abroad, right? Add that in and take out all foreign production here on U.S. borders. We call that net foreign factor income. We're going to add that in, and we're going to take out, because realize since the black market is not in GDP, it's really not going to equal what GDP, all production going on, plus what people report on their tax returns. So we have this statistical discrepancy. And sometimes on these tables, you'll have statistical discrepancy. I can't get it out. On other times, you won't have it. So notice on this table, it lists it, but there is nothing in it, right? There is 0. It shows 0. So really, all we're going to be doing is taking our net domestic product number, which is a 392. We're going to add in net foreign factor income, which is a 10. And we usually would take out that statistical discrepancy, but there's nothing here. So national income here is 402. So we have now national income. We have to get. So now we're going to get to personal income. And personal income, and I'm going to go ahead and change the font size on here. make it a lot smaller so that you can go ahead and we can go ahead and hopefully put this whole formula up here. So remember, personal income equals national income. So that 402 we just came up with. And we're going to take out a whole bunch of different taxes. So let's start with corporate tax. It's going to be corporate taxes. Also indirect taxes, also called, it's going to be depending on the table, taxes on production and imports. Sorry, taxes on production and imports. So that's the same thing as indirect taxes. So those are our sales taxes, or also all the tariffs we have on imports. So production and imports, all that taxes. Mainly it's sales tax. We're also going to take out Social Security tax, also called Social Security contributions. These are taxes that we have to pay, right? And we're also going to take out retained earnings. Retained earnings can also be called, notice it's called here, undistributed corporate profits. I can't spell undistributed. Sorry about that. And then we're going to go ahead and take out, let's add in transfer payments and add in net interest to households. And notice net interest to households is not on this table, but it could be on other tables. So I'm going to put it on here because it is part of the formula, right? Net interest to households. This means if we pay more interest income, we have more interest income than expense. This is showing that it must be 0 because it's not on this table. So that is the formula. So let's do it. I'm going to create another one. Is we know that national income is 402. We're going to go ahead and subtract out corporate taxes. Corporate taxes is 40, corporate income tax. We're going to take out indirect tax or taxes on production imports, which is 20. Hopefully you're following me along on this table. We're going to go ahead and take out undistributed corporate profits or retained earnings. We're also taking out Social Security tax, and I apologize for taking them out in opposite ordered. Right, we're going to take that out. We're going to add in our transfer payments, which is 22. We have no net interest to households, so that's 0. Once you do all that calculations, we're taking out 40, 60, 35, 95, and 15, so 105. We're adding in 22. And the number you should come up with, make sure I have the number right, so I'm putting it through my calculator, and sorry that I don't have it here. I want to make sure I have this right, is that number for personal income is going to come up with 314. So the number will be 314 once you do the math. So I'm sorry it's showing up like that. That's 314. I can't make this bigger. That's 314. Right. I'm going to just write it out again so you can see it's 314 for personal income. Okay, last slide. Finally, we get to the number that Keynes is going to use, so we're going to look at disposable personal income. How much do you have? We say we're a consumption economy. How much do we have that we can spend in our economy? So we're going to take our personal income and take out personal income tax. Right? So this is equal to that 314 minus 40, which is then 274. Hope this is helping you. I'm sorry there's a couple of blips in here because I have problems using the program. I'll get better at it. But hopefully this helped you. Okay.